think there are people in the business who have a nurturing nature, a nature to invest, and I think there are people who have a nature to just spend. They see someone's excitement and they say, "Oh, let me spend that and I'll get my thing done and see you later." But I think it's really important because I always say, like, yeah, the on-paper budget of the short, the amount I spent was $750, but every dollar beyond that 750, that's something someone invested in my movie, whether they realize it or not. And I think if you have that mentality, you are more likely to treat everyone who works with you with that degree of respect and loyalty, because they've shown it to you. And you know, my friend's a filmmaker.
Well, that's the only way you can do this type of film.
Yeah, and this is like the least artistic way of putting it. But the first short film I made, I wrote to be the dirt simplest thing I can think of. I have this sort of left brain part of myself that like breaks it down and go, how do I eliminate variables to make this easier for myself to learn from? So my first short film was one actor, one location, one camera setup.
Smart.
This was the first time. It's like, now we got 3 people on camera. And it's like, it's the stuff that you would get in your first 2 years of film school, where it's like, okay, how do I shoot a couple people around a table? Just how do I make that look smooth? Because you can watch movies your entire life, but until you sit down and diagram it and go, this is why this visual language works, you run the risk of just like having this grand emotional vision, but just making it incoherent. And I've seen movies written by people I know who are very, very talented, that if they don't get that part right, it doesn't matter what's on the page. And so it has been about gradually giving myself rudimentary problems and then a slightly more complicated problem, and trying to build my muscles that way. And all the time trying to make sure it's entertaining, but that has been the buried strategy with each project is, all right, what's the new thing I'm going to do here that I haven't done before that terrifies me?
I did want to ask you 2 quick ones, and the first question would be your favorite part of the film. So just kind of let us know, you know, maybe it was the scarf story. I'm not sure.
The scarf is really great.
Those are fun moments, right? The unexpected happens, and it works with the narrative, and it's just.
Oh yeah, you know, just there's a beautiful moment. Janaea, who plays the writer, because like I said, we only had 4 hours in that cafe. The cafe was open for business the whole time. We were just in the corner, kind of like making sure no one stole our equipment, and getting all of these shots of her. It was a lot. We tried to shoot as much in sequence as possible so she could stay with the arc. But because you've got a list of 70 shots to get in 4 hours, sometimes it's just like, all right, I'm going to get these 15 things from this angle. And so for her to keep in her head like where she's at in her journey was an incredible piece of work. And this is kind of the invisible stuff that makes for really good acting, the facility she had to keep up with that. But there's a bit kind of like 2/3 of the way through when the painting conversation starts, and you get the sense that the writer has figured it out, and now they're running downhill now, and they picked up momentum. But it matched so well with, oh yes, now I'm doing well, or oh, that was a good moment, I feel proud of that. So,
well, maybe that goes to what we were talking about before. As a director, you know, you're letting your folks do what they're there to do.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you try and tell them this is what it is, this is where it's at, and whatever that means for you, because the gestures are so small. If you try and sculpt that or dictate it, you're just going to end up with this kind of rigid, I don't know what to do with myself. There are all these books about an actor's preparation, and we think of it as some kind of abstract term, but it really is true. In the same way that an athlete warms up and they have everything that they go through to get their body ready to perform, an actor is doing sort of the same thing, and everyone has their own routines and rituals. I have this weird tick. I don't like having things in my pockets. When I'm about to perform in something, I'll like take everything out of my pockets and stash it somewhere. We all have these weird little things that we go through, but it is about having that countdown in your head. You know, it's like, okay, it's 30 minutes till cameras are rolling. Okay, this is what I'm going to start doing with my body. And then it's like, oh, we've got you into costume. Let's get you on. Let's get you touched up. And now you're starting to go through it, review what you're doing, look at your, you know. It's different for everyone, but everyone has one. And you want to start seeing the signs of that, so you know how to create the space that best accommodates that.
Very good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Of course. I always love talking about this stuff.
Yeah, good job.